Hey YouTubers, so 2 weeks ago I put a weeping willow bonsai tree in the greenhouse. Now it was losing a lot of branches, and I had a look in the night last night and I could see a big branch that is dying off, which I did expect that branch to die, but I want a closer inspection just to see what other branches are dying and need assistance in cutting off. Now just scouring around this, I can see quite a few tips of branches that are dying and they need to be removed. There's one for instance. Now I don't know if you were to leave it, is it just going to spread up the whole of that branch, or will it just get to a certain point and just stop? I don't really want to take that risk, so whenever I see a branch starting to die off, 99.9% of the time I will cut it off, unless I'm really attached to that branch, and I'll leave it until the very last moment to cut it off. Now it is the 1st of September, no it's not, bloody not. The 1st of December today, and the amount of branches I'm losing, it's a little bit worrying, because yeah, we had a little bit of a cold spell, then it warmed up a bit. We've had a few frosts, but not like -15 or anything of those sort of temperatures, which is quite worrying, because I don't know if I'm going to have any branches left by the end of the winter on this tree. You got to come out. Now I'm worried that that whole branch may die eventually. Quite a few dead branches over here. Now you can see where on that branch, you see where it's like getting lighter. Now I think all those branches will die up to where the pigmentation of that branch starts to get red, like a deep red. That whole branch, this is the branch I was on about. Now I did mention in my other video that I think that whole branch will die, and yeah, I was right. But we have got a top starting on this section, so if I use my initiative and wire it in a way where you'd have branches cascading down from that gap from where I removed that dead branch, and then vice versa on the other side, because I'm not sure if those branches are going to survive. But let's get my wire cutters and we'll cut that big ass branch off now. I'll try and zoom you in a bit. Now you can see it's died, because you can see it's starting to like wrinkle up. Pow! That's what I do. And then sorry it's a bit wobbly on the old camera, but I'm trying to do everything on my own without a tripod. Now I just use my cut paste, and I'm quite liberal when it comes to the cut paste, because I just don't want it drying out. And with these things, they just lose branches for no bloody reason. That's what I reckon. But we'll dab it on, and like I said, I've made a bloody pig's ear with that. I'll just wipe my finger on the floor and I'll just clean that up a little bit more, make that a bit more acceptable. So yeah, in my way, I like to think that when the branch dies on the tree, it's the tree trying to tell you, nah, you don't want a branch there. So instead of having a branch there, we can have the cascading ones from the top in its place. We've got another dead dying branches there. I'll have them off. Pow. So that doesn't look too bad yet. That one, they're not doing too well either. So we cut the tips off them. Just like that. Right. So that doesn't look too bad, that section. More dead tips. Yes. I think about 60% of the tree's tips are dying. Now when we do get our next bout of frost, I think I may just get some bubble wrap and just wrap it around that pot, because it is a very, very shallow pot for this size of tree. I really should repot it into a bigger pot next year. I really should do that. Plenty of dead air. We'll cut that up to there. Pow. I don't really want to cut all that off. We'll cut that bit of dead off there, and then we'll just nip that little bit of dead off there, like so. Now that we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. It's like a horror show looking down like that. But we live in hope. We live in hope. So now this is the bit that is really disturbing me, to be fair, because that whole branch is going to die. Probably, most likely. And that was sort of like my favourite part of the tree when I first started creating this. But I think if that branch does die, I'm going to have to do some skillful wiring at the top branches so they can cascade down in that gap. Because if I remove that whole branch, there's going to be a huge gap, and it just won't look authentic and very good. Now this is another branch. That whole branch will die, so I'm just going to cut that off now. Pow, and be done with that one. Don't forget to put your cut paste over, especially on a weeping willow, because it'll dry out like there's no tomorrow. Be liberal. Be liberal. Just put it all over. It'll thank you for it. Oh, it will. For the winter, it'll thank you for it. There we go. So this isn't actually a weeping willow, it's a corkscrew willow. So maybe corkscrew willows have dying branches more regularly than a weeping willow. If anyone knows that, let me know, because I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. I think we're sort of getting there, YouTube. Oh no. Well, I sort of knew that branch was going to die. That's why I left that top one on the top. Because it's sort of like how it grows. Well, you like to think it, and then it just surprises you and does something completely different. And then that branch will die, and you'll be like, what the fuck? What the bloody hell, even? So yeah, it's all about the wiring. Just before spring, I'll have this wired. See what branches we have left on it. He's coming off. Yeah, see what branches we've got left on it, and then try and wire it into such a way where it all looks in proportion and you got no big gaps. I remember I always used to say I wanted this more compact, Now it may get to the stage where I haven't got an option and it will have to be brought all in and more compact. I hope we don't get to that stage, but it's not a definite that it's going to be alright. But I think that's all the dead cut off for now. We just have to check it on a weekly basis. I think I'm going to check it on a weekly basis. Not that you can do anything about it. It's not like you can stop it. If it's going to die, it's going to die. But it's all about the rectification after. And but yeah, if you've enjoyed watching this and you want to see more of this corkscrew willow, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da for now. Here's your green fingers.